game where the Flipside side let the Medusa farm. They ended up regretting it down the line, and the same exact thing will happen to the Phantom Lancer. It is a lot easier to punish a Phantom Lancer, though. I think he's very, very fragile. He doesn't have Mana Shield or Stone Gaze in order to try to help him get himself out. And usually Phantom Lancers get like only 1 point in the Doppelganger. So if you do end up drawing him into your team, you could burst him down real easy before he has a chance to do anything.
Yeah, definitely. So right now, Flipside Tactics don't have the greatest of bursts to bring down a Phantom Lancer, but they have more than enough time to fix that inside their draft. If they want to pick up some burst and support Lion, okay, there you go. That's going to be a pickup for them and also offers a decent amount of lockdown for that PL. It depends on how fights go down inside the mid game to how this Phantom Lancer is going to be able to perform. But right now, Flipside Tactics at the very least have the tools to deal with him.
Yeah, so they're going to be ready to try to kill the Phantom Lancer on paper. But again, it's going to come down to the other 4 heroes, or I guess the other 2 heroes that Scary Faces pick up in order to buy space for that Lancer. Zeus Beastmaster is a good way to start. Lots of vision there, so Scary Faces most of the time will know where Flipside are. But as far as the early game potential, it's not really there. Zeus in the very early stages is kind of mediocre. Beastmaster, the exact same thing. We saw him bullied really hard in the last game, so they're going to need a little bit more early game right now. It's not going to be that Venge. And up against what Flipside have, I mean, Rubik is okay, I suppose, as counter Batrider. We have Earthshaker already banned out from Flipside. The support pool that's good against Batrider is kind of slim. Maybe it's just time for Disruptor again.
Yeah, at the moment that looks pretty likely. Maybe a Skywrath Mage would be a nice combo with the Beastmaster and a decent pick too. Although leaving their lineup a little bit on the squishy side, they just would like something that could zone out the bat early on and offer a little bit of damage from the supports. Witch Doctor is one that we neglected to mention, but it's still a reasonable pick for them. It's hard to ever say that Witch Doctor is bad. Death Ward combos with the Beastmaster were in a similar fashion to the Mystic Flare and is going to allow them to get single target pickoffs pretty easily.
Yeah, they have a lot of scary burst damage. Single target focused maybe from the Scary Faces side, but so far really it's only the sniper that you really have to target down. And as far as burst is concerned, if you Maledict and Bolt, I don't know if that's outright going to kill off the sniper, but it's going to come really, really darn close, especially if you have a Roar on top of that. There's no way that the sniper is going to survive. Here's really where Flipside are going to wish that they had the Vengeful Spirit instead of having banned it out. It's an Ember Spirit actually for Flipside. And this actually can get a little bit of traction. Scary Faces, they do have some ways at stunning up the Ember Spirit, but a lot of their damage is magical right now. Maybe Death Ward down the line, Phantom Lancer down the line as well, but Ember Spirit, if he gets a Battle Fury, that's a great way of cutting through Phantom Lancer illusions in the late game.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, I think Scary Faces rely entirely on getting the Roar onto the Ember in order to actually kill him off, although Casca is alright, unless they catch the Ember in a really awkward spot or the Ember misplays. It's going to be really hard to catch him out, and I think this is a good pick for Flipside, and it's going to be pretty annoying for Scary Faces to deal with. Their last support should be something with any kind of instant disable to set up for the Cask and the Witch Doctor damage, or just something to keep the Ember Spirit in check. Skywrath Mage is the ban. I think that would have fit the bill nicely, although it is Scary Faces themselves banning it out.
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. I mean, Flipside do need a support of their own, and a support that is primarily going to be focused with being able to shut down the Phantom Lancer, so some sort of AoE, as well as a stun for the Witch Doctor. Maybe a Sand King for the Flipside side. I mean, a Sand King Batrider maybe is going to make the jungle a little bit crowded, so maybe that's not exactly the ideal way to go, but they would like to have a Shaker right now. They would really love that. Enigma is going to be the ban out for Flipside, and dude, we're 2 picks away from making history right now. I don't think there's going to be a Troll Warlord here, although it's not too late for Scary Faces to grab that. Please don't, Scary Faces. We're going to see it. Or not see it, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to. If either of these teams go for a Troll, it's going to push somebody into the jungle, and they have that capability. Although I'm not sure they'd be comfortable doing it, Scary Faces. It's going to be a Queen of Pain last. Alrighty. Okay, so it wasn't the support that I was expecting in all honesty, but it looks like they're going to throw Beastmaster into the position 4.
Well, I mean,
or Zeus, actually. Yeah, that's more likely.
Witch Doctor, put Queen of Pain, mid Beastmaster off, Phantom Lancer safe. It seems pretty okay here for Scary Faces. Queen of Pain versus Ember Spirit is actually not too bad for Ember Spirit, though he's going to take a beating from just going up against a ranged hero. That was pretty much unavoidable. They could even put the Ember Spirit over in the safe lane, actually, and put the Sniper in mid. But, yeah, they have some answers to this Queen of Pain already with this Lion Batrider as well. The need for crowd control is even higher now for Flipside, having to do with both a doppelganging Phantom Lancer and a Queen of Pain. And what's it going to be for them? Taking a lot of time. It's an Axe. And we've done it, guys. No troll picked or banned. First time of the month, I'm pretty sure. Maybe.
At least for me. I mean, that counts for something, right?
No,
Either way,
it was actually like 100% pick ban rate for the month. That was like a stat I saw
like
on
on that
LG.
Dota.
So, yeah. Suck it, everyone else. We did it first. We did it, guys.
The troll-free game.
No matter who wins, we win.
Yeah, and troll loses. Take that, troll.
You thought he was such a good hero, guys. Well, he's not that good enough to be picked, is he? But okay, we got the Axe as the pick for Flipside. How are these lanes actually going to go down? It seems like with Bland taking the Axe for Flipside, he's just going to go to the jungle. Is this just a straight-up jungling Axe?
It probably is. I don't think there's another way that they lane this, but then again, Scary Faces don't have heroes that are very good at punishing it, and I think that Flipside could get away with just keeping this Axe nonstop in the woods. The biggest disadvantage of doing this is that it's going to maybe put some pressure on Ace to get more out of his lane, as his ability to farm up those stacks is going to be hampered by the fact that they have a jungler on their own side. In fact, it's a double Stout Shield opener. Well, to formally introduce the Flipside group, it is going to be Axe played by Bland. Rise is going to be handling the Lion Sniper, played by probably Unicorn, or Useless Score is what he's tagged up as now. Ember Spirit by Baby Knight, and last but not least, our Bat Rider by Ace.
Ramsey is going to make a repeat performance on his Beastmaster from last game. Shadowy's going to be playing the supporting Zeus, with Player on the Queen of Pain going towards the mid lane. We got Eknart on the Witch Doctor, and then down towards bottom he's going to be supporting Quista's Phantom Lancer. It looks like for right now Scary Faces might be running a semi-dual lane with Shadowy, but probably just to get an Observer Ward up to try to keep this Beastmaster a little bit safer. Yeah, a jungling Axe is fine, although I'm not really convinced about this double Stout Shield build. I do like going for, if you're going to be going like real deep into the protection, get the Ring of Protection and the Stout Shield, because you can't really build that many items from the Stout Shield, whereas for Ring of Protection you can build those Tranquils, and it does offer you a similar amount of ETH HP, but this Axe is going to be just jungling, and for Scary Faces, we'll see if they could actually punish this, or actually realize this. They're going to get caught in a very tight clump. Flip side, Baby Knight's already taking a lot of damage. Shrapnel's on the deck, but Baby Knight's still getting bolted down, and Ramses is going to claim first blood with his boar of all things. 15 damage, and he gets the last hit. I guess sometimes it's just how it goes, but the bounty rune is not even secured by the Flipside team. Both end up going towards Scary Faces plus a first blood. You really can't ask for a much better start than that.
It's actually really scary. The Queen of Pain's going to get a lot of benefit from it, and well, Beastmaster, although he might have had a subpar laning stage before that, is now sitting on First Blood Gold. An extra 400 is really a great boon to him. He currently madly pings Shadowy for actually taking the CS from that ward that was on the ground, but regardless, this dual lane can put a lot of pressure onto Baby Knight and Rise. With the double boars up 50% of the time and the constant harass coming out from Shadowy, this is so annoying to play against. For Flipside, Sniper in the meantime dropping very low. In fact, that's lethal. He's gone. Nobody here to deny him. Useless Score can do nothing but burn down to the poison damage. Queen of Pain, pretty good laners, or so I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I think we could see why. Shadow Strike was only level 1, yet Sniper was just getting absolutely demolished by this hero. The base damage is vastly in favor of the Queen of Pain. If they do get into a man fight, Queen of Pain will win said man fight. So Sniper is going to be the second casualty for Flipside, and up towards top, like the Ember Spirit, usually he's going to have a decent time laning, but if we look at this lane, Zeus has magic damage almost purely, whereas for Ramses, he has physical damage pretty much purely for him. I mean, the boars, of course, do physical damage. The axes, when they are picked up, and I'm sure they're going to be picked up in this lane, they're also going to be doing physical. So for Baby Knight, he has no additional armor. He has no Stout Shield or anything like that. He has one base armor, and that's it. If he gets into a fist fight with the Beastmaster, there's no way Baby Knight is going to come out ahead in that exchange.
No, for sure. And even once he gets only 1 point into the Flame Guard, that in and of itself is not enough. It's already eaten through by one Arc Lightning coming out from Shadowy, and although Baby Knight does get a CS on a board, and that's nice and all, this laning stage is looking really sketchy for Flipside. Scary Face's lineup has really shuffled things. Sniper again in mid gets killed as player blinks in with 2 points of Shadow Strike, just runs him down. At what point do you just, I don't know, have to rotate supports in this lane? But Flipside, since they've gone for this Jungle Axe, can't do that. The Sniper is currently high and dry, and Lion can't leave the Ember Spirit either.
Yeah, this sniper is going to be alone here, whether he likes it or not. They don't have any alternatives right now. That's what happens when you grab a jungle, and sniper is just going to get, again, demolished. This mid lane situation in the last game and in this game has just been so bad for the Flipside players. Last time it was Baby Knight, this time it's Useless Score. This is even a lane where Sniper is not going to be massively at a disadvantage. Like, it's not the best lane for Sniper, but it's also not the worst. Yet he's still just getting absolutely smashed. And Flipside, I mean, their bottom lane is actually going decently, I suppose. Ace is level 3. He's getting a couple levels, but up towards top, Baby Knight is having a rough time. Now that he has level 2 Flame Guard, he's going to be able to block more than just an Arc Lightning, but Bolt, Arc Lightning, and the shield is gone. That's pretty much all it does versus that Zeus. So this is a really rough time for Flipside. Whereas for the Scary Faces team, well, they're now working with Quista, who's getting an absolute free time in lane, a 1v0 or 2v0 lane. Queen of Pain's feeding off of the Sniper. This is going really well for the Scary Faces side, and maybe it's going to be a very quick repeat of Game 1.
I'm tempted to say that the reason why Queen of Pain's doing so well on mid is because she got the Bounty Rune and Sniper didn't. Getting that early level 2 on a hero like Queen of Pain can catch the enemy off guard pretty easily. They've rotated their Lion. Ryze is now currently sitting behind Useless Score, and although this is nice and all to protect him, the Ember Spirit's left completely alone, and Baby Knight is, I don't know, just getting manhandled, really. There's not much that he can do inside this lane. He's CSing decently well for his situation, but now that the medallion is up for Ramses, his former base 1, now base 2 armor is going to be pared down into the negatives, and that means those axes and those boars are going to be hitting so hard.
And already this isn't a great lane for the Ember Spirit versus Beastmaster. He can't win a man fight, and he just doesn't have enough to apply pressure to the Beastmaster either. So this is already a losing lane, amplified by the fact that he's starting this lane essentially at a level disadvantage, so making it even worse for him. Ryze, in the meantime, is going to run to Eknard. He bumped into something, so maybe they know that there's an invisible Witch Doctor here, but Blink forward, play up to the high ground with the Maledict on Ryze. That's already going to be lethal with the Shadow Strike tick damage as well. They'll take out the Lion without breaking much of a sweat. 4 minutes in, and Scary Faces have 4 kills to their name. And Flipside, Blink Dagger on Bat Rider. It's only 4 minutes in, but already that's like the point of desperation. They need to get some Blink Daggers up so they can actually do something and respond to Scary Faces around the map, because if they let this game sit as it is, there's no chance that they're going to win. They're just going to eventually lose all of these lanes even harder than they already are.
Yeah, Axe and Bat. Those are the heroes that can bring this back in for Flipside, and Bland has opted for Ring of Health. When you go for the double Stout Shield, it's probably fine, but up towards top, they're going to lose their Ember Spirit dove by Ramses. Even without having the Roar available, it didn't matter. With level 2 into the Bolt, level 2 into the Arc, the damage that Ember Spirit's sustaining is ridiculous. Even with a level 3 Flame Guard, it's just not enough. Zeus does too much magical damage to where you can really get value out of that spell. I mean, extra 350 HP is nothing to scoff at, but it's also not too great. Eknard in mid is getting shot at by the Sniper. Can he secure this kill? He has no ultimate at the ready, and they're going to turn around with the Queen of Pain. Player is going to start right-clicking him down, although the Witch Doctor's there for experience. It doesn't look like it's matter. A couple of uphill misses. Player's going to be forced to blink away, but survives just the same. I believe that was 2 uphill misses in a row.
Yeah, if those uphill misses weren't there, definitely would have been a kill for that Queen of Pain. Up towards top, Shadowy is going to be in a little bit of trouble from Baby Knight. The shield will burn him down, but Ramsey is going to beat down the Ember Spirit, making it even 1-1 up towards top. Overall, for Flipside, they only get the kill on the Zeus. Queen of Pain gets to walk, maybe a little bit unlucky, because she could have walked away with a 3-0-3 score instead of 2-0-3, but player's still doing fantastically for himself. I don't think he's going to be too upset that he didn't get an additional kill following all of his previous ones. And Baby Knight, of course, we said it many times before, but he simply cannot stick on this lane without some support. This Axe pick just wasn't the right pick here, I think, for Flipside. Like, so far, Bland has been doing absolutely nothing, and sometimes there are games where you're okay with doing absolutely nothing with a jungler, but when you have such a rough lane, this is definitely not one of them.
And really the big winner is Phantom Lancer down towards the bottom lane. Quista's been left completely alone, and that's exactly what PL is happy with. Inside mid lane, we're going to potentially see a jump, although Lion's going to stonewall that one. Ace has reserved himself to farming up in the enemy wood, because that's kind of what he needs to do. The Axe, in the meantime, dies up towards top, as the Zeus is able to bolt him down. All he wanted to do was to get some farm over in these camps and maybe assist the Ember Spirit, but really, at this point, he just can't. Baby Knight is going to get some chains over into Shadowy, but the physical damage from Beastmaster is huge. He'll be able to remnant out to safety, and Baby Knight will survive, but now he's pad out of mana and can't really come back to this lane.
Yeah, if you can't go for that type of kill as the Ember Spirit, then what can you do? Over towards the mid lane, looks like they're going to pull back onto player. The damage is just going to be enough to kill out the Queen of Pain. That's a big kill for Flipside, and they will have to back off, but they somehow just randomly got a lasso on Ace. There had to be an invisibility rune or something. No, there wasn't. It was just Batrider, lasso, and Queen of Pain. I don't know how that works, but it does. And Flipside is going to work out pretty well for them. But up towards the top, they did lose their axe, very easily brought down by the duo of Beastmaster and Zeus. Mixed magical, physical, and they're still putting pressure to this Ember. So although it's really nice killing off the Queen of Pain and everything like that, they're going to need like 2 or 3 more of those. Ace is close to his Blink Dagger, but he doesn't quite have it yet.
The biggest issue is that they're just not farming, and the sniper is going to drop down to the Queen of Pain very low. He's going to turn for an assassinate. Player does not have a blink and won't be able to dodge that assassinate, but now the sniper needs to tread very carefully. One blink and scream is all that player would need to kill him off. He probably just has to go straight back to base. Ember's coming in, dropping 3 remnants. The damage is there, but player's able to blink away. The chains were a little bit off the mark, and now Baby Knight's going to be stunned up by Eknard, although there's not enough damage from the Witch Doctor to get that kill. They're pulling their Ember Spirit off of the safe lane, and Baby Knight gets nothing. That, in and of itself, is a win.
Oh, Shadowy just needs 1 more level really quickly to kill off Useless Score, but he doesn't quite get it. Sniper's back in base, and he'll be just fine. But soon there's going to be a Thunder God's Wrath, so next time that happens, next time it's not going to be Flipside escaping with that Sniper. They're also roaming around very heavily right now. Beastmaster, Eknart, they are on the prowl, and they're going to run into Bland. Usually that's a no-go because it's an axe, he's way too tanky, but not when you're a Beastmaster who's this far ahead. Bland's caught in a corner, and with the creep wave thinning out, looks like they will back off for now, but Baby Knight is the one to arrive. If they have a choice, Scary Faces would much rather like to go for this Ember Spirit, but it looks like they will decide to back off in total. Ace is pretty much at his Blink Dagger. In fact, he does have it. So maybe now Flipside can start digging themselves from out of this deficit, but it's going to start with them losing Bland. Roar into Lightning Bolt, and he's half dead already. Eknard's going to join in with the cask, and Ramsey's physical damage is going to be enough to kill off the axe. No rotations coming in just yet. Here comes Baby Knight, but he doesn't have a Sleight of Fist to actually chain anyone down easily. He'll have to commit a Spirit to that, and he really doesn't want to. Ramsey's even going to consider turning around. Shadowy has enough mana for a Thunder God's Wrath right now. They have the Hawk, so they have perfect vision right now. Cask going to be thrown to Rise with the Lightning Bolt and the Boar. Rise can take quite a bit of damage. However, Baby Knight gets the chains onto Eknard. Double Spirit jump forward. Eknard going to die. Here comes Ace. Going to get the catch onto Ramses as well. They'll kill off the Lion with that Thunder God's Wrath, but now Shadowy's being pursued out by this Batrider as well as by this Ember Spirit. He needs to bottle up, needs a little bit more time and mana to get another Spirit up, and once he does, he'll do a little more damage to Shadowy. Doesn't have enough mana for chains, but with 2 stacks of tar, Shadowy's also going to die. It's a triple kill for Ace, and the Blink Dagger already providing some clear benefits for Flipside. That's what they needed, except is it already too late? They're really far behind, and the Phantom Lancer is still happily farming away. He has a big item coming out. It's his completed Diffusal Blade. That's a 10-minute Diffusal Blade on Quista. Scary Faces have got to this point with a 4v5, and Flipside, they're still struggling.
Yeah, and PL is ready to join these fights. I don't expect things to happen like that again. Unfortunately for the Zeus, they didn't have enough mana to use the Thunder God's Wrath immediately there, so they weren't able to get the kill very cleanly. But even so, and that's really nice for the Bat, Bat's not the hero that you need to get back into this game. It's the Axe, it's the Ember, it's the Sniper. They need something. And for Axe, it's going to be a Blink Dagger. That's no, probably about 3 minutes away at the very least. Axe is taking quite a long time in order to get that online, and maybe even finishes up a Vanguard. If he does, I think Flipside really just can't do anything, and honestly I'd say that's probably a wrong choice, unless he can farm up an Ancient stack with it, which I guess he could.
And it's going to be a triple stack for him, so he's going to get quite a bit of gold from that. But in the meantime, Scary Face is also going to get a lot of gold by clearing out this tier 1. Catapult should not do the job, and they do know that there's a Hawk here, so the tower will be denied. A little bit of a break there for the Flipside team, but again, it's just not going to be enough because tower out of the pockets of Scary Faces isn't the same as getting gold into the pockets of your Sniper. And Sniper is getting chased down by Ramsey's Roar just in range. There's the blink in from player. Sonic Wave even to kill off that Sniper. That was a little bit unnecessary, but hey, they got the kill anyway, so it's fine. The Axe also dropping low to that Thunder God's Wrath, but he will back off just fine. Getting roughed up by those Ancients as well. Took a little bit of them, but there are still a couple of Ancients alive that Scary Faces can very easily jack, or they can go toward the mid lane and make that push happen. Baby Knight is all alone. Bolt going to cut through the shield immediately. Cask will follow him, even through the Spirit jumps. He will jump again. He will dodge that Scream of Pain with that second jump. And he'll be just fine. In the meantime, lasso onto Quista. They have enough damage to kill off the Lancer. With the Hex, they do. Ember Spirit going to claim that kill. Here comes Bland on the front lines. Very, very tanky. But player still has a double damage rune. You don't want to fight into that if you're Flipside.
A really awkward fight over on the right side of that. The Phantom Lancer cancels the Blink Dagger coming out from the bat, and that might have helped the fight proper over towards the left. But in the end, he just stuck around a little too long. They will get this Ancient stack for Bland. In the end, he's able to farm up these last 2 big creeps that are here. And, well, that's going to put him back to the spot where he's halfway towards his Blink Dagger, which is good and all for Bland, but until he has that Finding Initiations with this axe is impossible, I want to say. Really, it's the Batrider that's keeping them in this game, and we'll have to see what he can do next when his Flaming Lasso is back off of CD.
That's in 45 seconds. So that's 45 seconds where Flipside are most likely just going to be sitting back and trying to get some farm, but their farm status on their 2 quote-unquote core heroes, Ember Spirit position 1, Sniper maybe position 1, you know, split it down the middle, I suppose, but they're pretty much on the bottom of the totem pole right now. They're going to run to Bland. There's the Roar. Cask can be thrown, plus a Death Ward. That was completely unnecessary, Witch Doctor, but they got the kill anyway, and off to the side, they're going to catch Rise as well. Sonic Wave not quite up yet for the Queen of Pain, and she's walking right into potential Hex, Finger of Death. She will get a clean blink away, however, just a solo kill for the Scary Faces side, as their pressure is huge, and it's still just buying space for Quista's Phantom Lance to farm up. Even though he did die previously, he still hasn't really stopped his farm train. And Flipside, they're not getting anything on this Sniper or the Ember Spirit. Power Treads 13 minutes in. That's not what you want to be doing as Sniper.
No, at this point, I think they just take no chances with the Axe Hour for Scary Faces. They recognize that Axe is one of the heroes that could potentially turn some fights if he got his Blink, and since he didn't have it already, Bland lost a decent chunk of gold. Not only that, about a minute of farming time, even though on face value he only lost 270. That's 270 that he needs to put towards his Blink, and it's also theoretically another 300 or so on top of that he could have been farming up towards top. Fight is brewing as Shadowy is going to be brought down by the Blinken from the Batrider. Worth the kill for sure. Let's see if they can get the tower afterwards.
Well, there is a little bit of incoming support here from Scary Faces in the Beastmaster. They could also teleport 1 or 2 additional heroes, and that in of itself would make Flipside stop with this push. Axe is already within the creep wave, take away the aggro, and they'll hold on to this tower. In the meantime, the tower push on bottom lane is never going to stop, as Quista making a decently sized army for himself. That those illusions do quite a bit of damage as well, with the agility from the Diffusal Blade built in there. Will make that tower take a little bit of damage, but for right now, Scary Faces will back off. No structural damage, or no significant structural damage, onto the top tier 1, and Eknart, Shadowy, they're up on top lane. If they land a Maledict onto someone with the damage payload from the Zeus, still it'll be enough to kill off the Sniper, who is, I mean, at 1000 HP when he's at Strength Treads, but he's still far from invulnerable from these 2 supports from Scary Faces.
Well, for the time being, things have slowed down a bit as Scary Faces are farming up, and players in no immediate shape to fight, although with the regeneration rune, once his Orchid recipe flies out to him, he will be. It seems that they'll look for their next aggressive move, smoking up with 4 of their heroes, although they don't have the Orchid at the ready. They have a level 2 Scream, or rather Sonic Wave and a maxed out Scream, which is almost good enough. The Ember Spirit buys the drums, but he doesn't even have upgraded boots yet. Baby Knight's incredibly poor on this Ember, and let's see if they can crash the party that is Bland farming Ancients. They're going to look for some vision with Shrapnel, but Ramses is going to get there first. The Zeus Ultimate scout everything out. They spot out Rise, Blink, Scream, and the Paralyzing Cask. That's pretty much a death onto the line already. He's going to turn Finger of Death into player, and now chained down to the ground. The Queen of Pain turns for a Sonic Wave, but dies just the same. They lose their axe in the meantime. Let's see if Scary Faces can chase for any more. Looks like the answer is no. They can't apply that Boris Load to anybody, and in the end will be pretty happy that they get a 2-for-1. Again, it's Axe dying before he gets his Blink Dagger. That's another 300 gold down the drain that he needs to save up for his Blink.
And they focus so much into that Axe. It was 3-4 heroes just trying to work him down, and I mean, they did get him down in the end, but lots of their damage is being blocked out by both the Vanguard as well as that extra armor provided by Berserker's Call. Death Ward does a kind of depressing amount of damage up against the Calling Axe. So Scary Faces maybe should have been helping their Queen of Pain out a little bit more, but focusing for that kill on the Axe is going to make their lives a little bit easier, because again, that lack of Blink Dagger, you really feel it for Flipside. They're always on the receiving end of initiation, and it's really Ramses Beastmaster that is providing most of that for the Scary Faces side in this game and the last as well, and he's soon to have a Necro Book. Like, this Beastmaster is absolutely disgustingly farmed, and he's very far ahead of the other Flipside cores who, I mean, as you said, drums, no upgraded boots from the Ember Spirit, upgraded boots, nothing else for Unicorn. What are these 2 heroes supposed to do when they're this under farmed? They can't really do anything except for hope for a like 1v3 or something where Flipside have a massive numbers advantage.
Yeah, that's just not happening. The Beastmaster Hawk Vision throughout this entire game has been really impressive, and It's stopping Flipside from really doing anything. Is even if they group up, Scary Faces should know it. They're going to send another Hawk inbound, and it's something that can't be replicated by the Flipside heroes. They have one ward placed out towards the top river spot, but that's hardly going to do anything. They do Earth Spike up a Hawk, so that's a little bit of gold and or a reduction in vision for them, but it by no means is going to help in a significant fashion. They're forced to group up as 5, and well, they're going to try to. They lay the Ember Spirit out as bait. Let's see if anybody's going to bite.
The only person who can bite who's in the area is Player, and she is as defensively positioned as the Queen of Pain can possibly be, is going to, well, go through a path that the Batrider has carved out previously. She's actually still in a little bit of trouble. Smoke is going to be blown, Rise there with the Hex, gets it immediately, and now Player is going to get lassoed and spiked and everything in the book. Bland's even going to throw the ultimate for good measure to help them disengage. It's a nice little pick off there for Flipside. They just need to do that a couple more times and they'll be close to breaking even in this game, but at the very least, it gives Bland enough gold for that blink.
Yeah, that's important, but in the meantime, Quista and Ramses were farming, and Flipside weren't, because they were rotating as 4, and even the Ember Spirit was sitting behind them, and wasn't really getting much farm by himself, although it's a good pick-off, and an important one for Flipside. It's not a flat win, since Scary Faces do have so much control over this map. Phantom Lancer now has a Yasha and is well on his way towards the Manta style. In fact, about halfway there when it comes to the gold that he needs in his bank in order to complete up that item. And Beastmaster is well on his way towards a finished Necro book. He almost has level 2 up.
Yeah, that's a disgusting amount of farm on that Beastmaster, and farm being used for useful items at this point in the game as well. It looks like they're going to group up as 5 for Scary Faces up towards top. And for Flipside, they don't have their lasso just yet, but they will have it maybe in time to defend this. Do they actually want to try defending this? That's a different question entirely, because they know that whenever they move in, most likely Scary Faces are going to know about it. With the Hawk, with a random Thunder God's Wrath, if Flipside actually decide to make a play, they will be spotted. Unless they snipe a Hawk with a Flame Break, that's actually pretty sweet from Ace. But Scary Faces walk in, put a lot of damage into the tier 2 tower, and then walk out after having committed pretty much nothing. And I mean, they don't gain that much, but they don't lose anything either. So pretty much zero net worth trade there. But still, this Quista Phantom Lancer is farming his ass off. He's at 1900 gold with the Yasha Diffusal Blade already completed. At this stage, as Phantom Lancer, you could just save up for a Reaver and just go straight tank, because you know that the Flipside team will have pretty much nothing to respond to with a... They'll have nothing to respond to a Phantom Lancer that's that tanky.
I would probably rather see the Manta style, but yeah, why not? I mean, at this point, Quista, the world is his oyster, and well, the world right now is the map, and it's pretty much his plaything. He's able to farm wherever he wants within reason, as long as Scary Faces maintain vision of the enemy team. In worst case scenario, they drop a Zeus ultimate for that, because they can. They're smoked up with the Witch Doctor, the Zeus, and the Beastmaster. They find a bounty rune, decide to pick it up. I'm not sure how diligent Flipside were being about checking the map, but they should have known that the double damage is not there anymore. They're going to bump into the Ember Spirit, it'll Remnant away, evading Ramses 666 and his Primal Roar. In the end, they won't find anything with this smoke, but maybe can just turn this into some map pressure. The Phantom Lancer is already putting damage onto a tier 2 bottom.
Quite a bit of it as well. It's like 300 damage with only a couple of illusions being committed there. It's luckily a flip side that they don't actually lose anyone in that engagement right there. If they got anyone roared with the DD Beastmaster, the Necro books already having been popped, that would have very easily been a kill on someone. But instead, it looks like Scary Faces are going to decide to slow this game down and just get farm and apply a little bit more late game pressure with this farmed Phantom Lancer. And that's reasonable, I would say. But I still think Scary Faces are probably powerful enough to just go for straight up tier 2 pushes and take those towers out without much of a fight. And then once those are down, you could look towards Roshan. Maybe that's going to be a little bit more difficult because Phantom Lancer without lifesteal is really bad at clearing out Roshan. But still, Scary Faces, I think they're powerful enough with how much advantage. Actually, not that much advantage in golden experience, just with a lot of momentum. They're powerful enough to go for these tier 2s without really worrying about what Flipside have in response.
The major difference is the distribution of the farm. If you take a look, the Zeus and the Witch Doctor are pretty darn poor. Zeus is working towards the Yules and Witch Doctor is working towards an axe, but are both pretty far away from it. Whereas Flipside, they have things a little bit more flatly distributed. The Batrider and Axe are the ones leading for their team, and honestly I think even though the advantage isn't that significant for Scary Faces when you look at the raw number, it really is because the Ember Spirit and the Sniper aren't contributing much except for Mascomatus on the Sniper and phased drums on the Ember Spirit, which really at this point just isn't acceptable. They need more time to get online.
They need a Battle Fury on Baby Knight in particular, just because once you get that item, well, it helps you clear out those Phantom Lancer illusions, and that's pretty sweet. You really need to start thinking about getting an answer for that down the line, but it actually helps them farm. So if this game does lead to a really stalled out game state where both sides are just on their side of the map, happily farming away with the Lancer, with the Ember Spirit, then Ember Spirit will be able to recover really quickly because he has that Battle Fury. Yet that's still a very long ways away. He only has the Perseverance, and that is like the easy part of the Battle Fury. You still got to get those pretty expensive swords, which are just not coming up. It's a free tower destruction for the Radiant as they take down the top tier 2. Flipside grouping up towards mid with nothing in response. They're gonna go to the Ancients again. Like, I don't know what Flipside are going to really want to do in this game, because they have a lasso, but if they walk into the Scary Faces side, unless they do get a lucky break where there's just one hero alone by himself, they're probably not going to get that much for free. Like, they'll probably take a mediocre trade at best.
Zeus Ultimate going to scout the entire Scary Faces lineup as they're clumped up in the bottom area, probably expecting Flipside to look for a smoke there, but after getting scouted, I don't think they will, and Scary Faces are now safe to farm up their woods and a little bit of the enemy woods, or at least that's what Quist is doing, for the next couple of minutes without really having much to fear, as Flipside aren't particularly map mobile.
Yeah, so they're just going to be chilling around the map mostly, dealing with pushes. Flipside, whereas Scary Faces are going to be shoving the waves, and that's very easy for them to do with a Manta style up on Quista. You just spawn the illusion, send them off, and let them do their thing, and then travel somewhere else. Doesn't have those travels necessarily, but with 1800 gold in the bank, if he wants boosted travels, this doesn't seem like a terrible game to pick that up. It's going to be an ultimate orb for players, so nothing huge there, but they're going to smoke up and head towards bottom where Baby Knight and Ace are there. I don't think Scary Faces know about these two heroes, but soon these two heroes might be considering making a jump on the PL. It's not an easy target, however. There's the Blink Lasso into Baby Knight, but what could Baby Knight really do? His damage output isn't that high. They flame break him, but a Doppelgang out is going to make Quista a little bit more free and clear. Triple Spirit Jump, they'll take down Quista, but here comes Player. Sonic Wave through is going to kill off the bat. Now he's in a fist fight with Ember Spirit. He'll have to blink out of that one, but here comes the reinforcements. Eknart, Ramses, both going to throw their stuns towards Baby Knight with the Maledict as well as the Death Ward. They'll take down the Ember in an ultimate 2-for-1 in favor of Scary Faces, plus they walk away with the gem, now on Eknart.
The damage coming up from Ember Spirit, for the first time in a while, is actually shown in that last fight, as he was able to keep his Flame Shield since there wasn't a Zeus to end up popping that, or Queen of Pain with her screams, so that damage was consistent and did a lot against the Phantom Lancer. It looked like Blink call down towards bottom, catches out Eknart on the retreat, Finger of Death, take no chances with Eknart, even then he's pretty darn tanky, but they will retrieve that gem, so in the end, things looking pretty good for Flipside in all honesty. They lose their bat and their Ember, but for the PL and Witch Doctor and getting control of the gem again, I honestly think that's alright.
Yeah, for Flipside, they can't really expect to have many better engagements than that. They take a 2-for-2, which is fine. Killing off the Phantom Lancer is a top priority at this point, and they still hold on to their gem. Beggars can't really be choosers when they're in this type of game state. Baby Knight's going to get a little bit of cash from that kill, though he does end up dying. He's going to hold on to that gold, so he's still slowly progressing towards his Battle Fury, slowly being the operative word, but Scary Faces, they now have a Vit booster on the PL, so he's not going to be an easy kill in the future. Batrider has everything he wants to initiate, and the Witch Doctor, he was so tanky. Granted, it was just Axe and the Lion. I suppose those are the two supports for Flipside, making that jump in, but he's holding on to the two tanky parts of Aghanim Scepter. This Witch Doctor is no easy kill, and once he does have that Aghanim Scepter, then Flipside have to focus crowd control on him. And they really don't want to be focusing CC on a Witch Doctor. Baby Knight's going to get silenced as soon as he wants to jump out to the Spirit. Player coming in at the perfect time, and Ember Spirit's going to drop, mostly just to Ramses, but Queen of Pain helping out a little bit there as well.
Yeah, ending up being a pretty good kill for them, and this Battle Fury feels like it's going to be miles away for Flipside. The Ember is still only sitting on that Perseverance, and honestly, if he gets a 30-minute Battle Fury, he'll be really happy. He only has 400 gold inside the bank, and I don't think he has anything on the courier or on the base's floor. That's all he has at face value, and it's less than 7,000 net worth here at 26.5 minutes in for what should have been a safe lane farmer. It's just not working for Flipside. They can't make space for him.
Yeah, the lanes really for Flipside was when all of this started going wrong, and in that regard, it is coming down to the draft. I think Scary Faces, they've picked up some, not completely dominant lanes, like the Beastmaster Zeus lane, That's not exactly the strongest lane in Dota, but going up against an Ember Spirit Lion lane, it's more than enough to take them down, especially after getting such a sick early start with the First Blood, the double bounty runes. So many things went wrong for Flipside so early on that have cascaded them into this type of game state where they just are trying to scrape together what farm they can. I guess for Useless Score, he's been finding quite a bit of farm around the map as a sniper. He's leading his own team with a Mask of Madness and Maelstrom. He can do quite a bit of damage, but he needs to be doing so much more damage right now, just because like the easiest targets are usually going to be the supports. But Witch Doctor is really tanky, and Zeus has a Yule Scepter. These are not easy heroes to kill off if you're a sniper.
Beastmaster and company going to end up smoking up as a 4-man unit, and maybe they just go straight into the Roshan pit. They'll drop the Necro Book, Medallion up to Roshan, although they're going to make him clap, it doesn't seem to matter. Even with no lifesteal, they have Voodoo Restoration level 2 on the Witch Doctor, and that's more than enough to sustain them through this. Roshan's going to fall in a heartbeat, with Flipside being able to do nothing. Even though Axe is close, it doesn't seem he even realize that he's going to get Yule Sceptered up and might even die in the retreat. Bolt going to continue this one out, although there's no further chasing power. Now Shadow, he's in a bit of a pickle. He's going to drop the ultimate, scouts out the entire enemy team, drops down to about half, but that's about it. To add insult to injury, Scary Faces are going to farm up the stack that the Axe really wanted.
Anyone on Flipside could have cleared that out, and anyone would have been happy to take that gold, but instead it's going to go into the pockets of Scary Faces. There's now a double life on the Phantom Lancer, and he has his heart recipe, though no Reaver. So that's kind of weird. Definitely investing a little bit more for the late game is Quista, but with that Aegis, you don't really need a heart, because hey, he has like 3,400 HP pool worth of effectiveness anyway. So the team, or maybe the team's not going to go for the tier 2. They're actually going to play defense right now. Scareface is playing a lot more defensively than I would really expect them. Maybe they don't know that they're as far ahead as they really think. Shadowy's going to get pulled up to the high ground by Ace. Now sitting in the Firefly, will burn to death. So it's a very nice kill there for the Batrider. Sniper also takes a tier 1 tower. Flipside, just in the past couple of seconds, have gotten quite a bit of gold, and that's even with the enemies holding on to the Aegis. However, up towards top, Useless Score is going to get jumped by a ton of Phantom Lancers. He's going to get swamped and killed off in a heartbeat.
And, well, the Heart of Tarrasque is going to come out very quickly for Quista, and, well, Beastmaster, in the meantime, dies in the river area. Seems like Scary Faces are kind of leaking heroes, but even so, they still kill off the Sniper. It's going to slow them down, sure, but they have more than enough Aegis duration to make use of this, and honestly, at this point, since you're already waiting, why not wait for that heart to be completed before going?
Yeah, you might as well. Like, you're already kind of committed into that path. They have the Aghanim Scepter up on the Witch Doctor, so I think with these items, the Lincoln Sphere on the Queen of Pain, and the Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster, those are just like the preliminary items. The Heart of Tarrasque is going to be the final item before Scary Faces get right back on the aggressive train, because Flipside have been getting quite a bit, though losing their sniper is never good. They took the Beastmaster in trade, and this is a level 15 hero they killed off right now with a whole bunch of heroes that are, well, at or below the level of the Beastmaster, so they get a lot of experience from that kill, and a lot of useful experience at that. Yeah, Thunder God's Wrath going to be used for Shadowy once again, just to scout out the Flipside team, but it's not going to do much more than that. Scary Faces are putting a lot of their eggs back into this Phantom Lancer basket, and that can potentially hurt them down the line if Flipside get good initiation off with the Axe or the Batrider.
That said, Scary Faces are now primed and ready to go for this push. They still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes or so, a little bit longer than that, and they'll have the heart flying out to the Phantom Lancer any second now. He's going to have enough gold for that. Quista now with that heart regen is going to be able to very easily sustain through pushes in bottom. They're going to group up with the rest of the heroes and probably look for a smoke, but even without it, they can probably just brute force their way through the bottom tier 2, which honestly, brute force is a little much. It's only sitting on 36 HP. If anybody as much as blows on it's going to fall over, and then they just go into high ground afterwards.
Probably should have been denied from Flipside, but it seems like they just didn't quite know about it. Sniper's still in the area. He'll try to deny, and he will. Okay, so tower down, I guess, for Scary Faces. Mission success. But yeah, a little bit of gold out of the pockets of Scary Faces, and Flipside have picked up a battle theory. Here's where Baby Knight actually starts becoming a relevant hero. It only took him 30 minutes, and it's a lot slower than Ember Spirits usually take to actually become effective. But hey, he could start actually farming up, assuming he has space right now. But Scary Faces, they're positioning themselves pretty darn dangerously, and space on the map for anyone for Flipside to farm is going to be very hard to come by.
Oh, definitely so. Scary Faces now going to look for this tier 2 tower in mid. Quista with his army of pike-wielding cat people is going to be able to smack this one down, although the Battle Fury is showing its value there as they mop up everything but the main PL. The main PL hardly took any damage from that, and even though the shrapnel is annoying and what have you can just back off from the fight for a little bit while it's healing up. Scary Faces, I'm a little bit surprised that they're not committing fully to a high ground push right now. They still have a minute on the Aegis. If they don't commit now, they probably won't get it. Blink and Roar. They'll look for Baby Knight. He's blown to shreds, and with the Sonic Wave flying over too, that's going to be Rise to hit the deck as well. Sniper's being chased out by one illusion from the PL. He's going to look for it as he drops a Doppelganger. Assassinate's going to be cancelled by Useless Score. He can't actually go for that as Quista pursues. Bland is going to get diffused up, forced to pop the BKB just to survive. The Phantom Lancer wants to use his Aegis and use it pretty soon, but while in the meantime, with the Necro Book popped on the ground with Ramses with the maxed out aura, they're losing their melee barracks, and they're going to lose that very quickly. Flipside are going to be hard pressed to defend. The Batrider and Axe haven't been able to find any initiation for now. They're forced to go back into their base.
I think it was Flipside just surprised at the Blink Dagger of the Beastmaster. Like, that's really the only reasoning I could see for that initiation, for the reason why Flipside were that far ahead with the Ember Spirit, because they didn't expect the Roar to come from that angle. Suddenly Beastmaster with a Roar, and then at that point there's nothing much you could do afterwards. They get the lasso up onto Quista, drag him right back into the tier 4s for Useless Score to let loose, but this Phantom Lancer is very tanky. He will die in the end. His Aegis has previously timed out, but Raxes already have been taken at least one set. Now they're looking for another player. Is going to get aggressed upon by Axe, but he's still just trying to focus down this Rax. It looks like he will get it afterwards. Hex is going to fail, Spike will fail as well, and Queen of Pain will get out of there. After having lost her entire team, however, Baby Knight's going to chase forward, chain her to the floor, beat her down, and Player is going to be the final casualty with Baby Knight drawing a triple. Flipside, however, lose a great portion of their base. 1.5 sets of Raxes in exchange for 5 kills. As nice as it is to get that net worth from those kills, Scary Faces have a Phantom Lancer. They can slow roll the rest of this game and just slowly but surely chip away at the bottom lane and look for megas.
Yeah, and at this moment, Flipside probably get a tier 1 tower in mid, maybe get a tier 2 tower as well. But Scary Faces, it's only 33 minutes into this game. They're back up pretty soon. I mean, Phantom Lancer is level 19, but he died pretty early on that fight. As you said, it was a pretty awkward time for that Aegis to expire. Just a couple seconds after the, after he was reclaimed is when he fell down. Zeus ending up just using his ultimate for scouting purposes is going to end up de-warding, pretty value ulti there, but maybe it cost him his life. With the Mask of Madness on bat, he can pull him from here to Kingdom Come. Ace is going to bump into him. Shadow is going to be lasted up and pulled back into the line. Line blinks forward. Right's going to follow up with the Hex, Earth Spike, and even though he doesn't have a Finger of Death, it's not necessary. They'll flame break him down. Flipside, however, in the meantime, lose their Ember Spirit in mid, just to the Beastmaster and his army with a little help from Witch Doctor.
Yeah, Blink Roar into just beat down at that point. Even though it's nice for the Batrider and for the Lion to go ahead and make that play, they left their Ember Spirit alone, and getting a kill on the Zeus is not worth losing your Ember Spirit. Right now, Flipside can't afford to lose their Ember Spirit at all. He got a Yasha after that last fight, and that's all well and good, but Yasha isn't going to help Flipside that much in this game. They need like a Daedalus or something of that caliber if they're actually going to compete with the Scary Faces' upcoming push. Quista is once again on the aggressive side of the map. He's going to go for an invasion item next. Butterfly online soon for Phantom Lancer, although I would have liked to see Scotty a little bit more. Bottom line, his illusions are going to be hitting like trucks, and that's going to be really hard for Flipside to deal with, since really Axe is durable, no one else is on Flipside. It's bottom lane, though, where Scary Faces have to push, and they're going to position themselves there slowly but surely, putting themselves in position.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see. I would love to see if Vlad's picked up by one of the Scary Faces support for Quista. His base damage is through the roof, and that extra lifesteal could be pretty nice. But we'll just have to see. Regardless, they'll just keep up the slow siege. Manta Illusion's constantly pushing out bottom, and well, the creeps in top and mid are going to do that for themselves. Although Bland can spin these down pretty easily with a Vanguard and the maxed out spin, Flipside have to commit heroes to all of these lanes, where Scary Faces really don't, and they can still comfortably farm up their woods and the enemy woods. An Invis Rune going to be picked up by Quista, and a Haste Rune, if he wants it, is right behind him. Although this shouldn't set up any kills, it's still icing on the cake. Scary Faces have complete map control, so the runes are always going to be theirs.
Well, it's actually going to blow a smoke, and he's going to break the Invis, go straight for Rise, dodge a spike in the process, throw a Lance. Rise is going to be free and clear from that one. That smoke was supposed to get Flipside a little bit more time to actually handle these lanes. Instead, the lanes are just going to continue pushing in towards the Flipside side of the map, and Roshan has respawned right now. It was a 12-second respawn, so pretty much minimum duration for Scary Faces. That is exactly what they want to see, and they're gonna put their illusions to work up on this top tier 1 tower with a pretty nice creep wave. Bland and Baby Knight should have no trouble at all clearing it, especially with this sniper providing cover fire with that Mjolnir. But the rest of Scary Faces, they're right around the corner. They are, however, all spotted. This observer ward from the Flipside team is going to keep them safe for right now, but Scary Faces, what they want right now is the range Raxes, and for the Flipside, they really shouldn't be getting into a giant fight in order to hold just a set of Raxes that really isn't going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. They should just let this one fall, unless they find someone massively out of position and lassoable by Ace.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can, but Necrobooks, Manta Illusions now going for the melee barracks. Losing the Necros is actually pretty significant here. Let's see who will get that last hit. It's going to be Sniper. That's a decent chunk of golden experience, but it also sends Sniper all the way back to base. This hero only has 1,000 HP, going for almost a full glass cannon build. No real stat items outside of the Aquila and the Wraithband. Range barracks ends up falling down. Scary Faces will be happy with what they've gotten. And now they can fall back, take Roshan, push down bottom, smoke up and look for a wraparound or a fake back. I don't know. The plan is open up to them for whatever they want to do. The status quo is vastly in their favor. Looks like Roche is the order of business.
Well, Ace is going to start dewarding. He has a gem, and of course, Bat Rider in the Roche pit is a menace. However, Scary Faces, they do have the Thunder God's Wrath, so when Roshan is going to drop low, I'm pretty sure Shadowy is going to let loose with that just to get a little bit of vision, or just have the Hawk do the exact same thing for free, or I guess more or less free. They have a good idea now that there's no one in the area, and this Roshan is not lasting too long. BMGG from Ramses. Okay, so if Scary Faces lose right now, then Ramses is going to feel like a fool, but you know what? I'm pretty sure they're in a good enough position so that they could laugh that one off. Flipside at least are taking that one pretty in good humor. The push is upcoming in this bottom lane, and the GG call, that might not be the real one, but I'm pretty sure there's a significant chance it'll be coming soon.
What he was meaning to do is probably just to check the Roshan timer. I'm sure it's on his chat wheel somewhere for the timestamp, but just a little bit off to the left or the right. Either way, Ramses is, well, going to look to make this GG call reality. They're going to sit Quista up on the high ground as he chunks away at this tier 3 tower with his illusions popped. He can go for that or for some kills. Let's see what he decides on. Tier 3 tower is the order of business. Quista, even if he dies here, probably doesn't care that much. With the attack speed from both the Beastmaster and the Necrobook Aura, Quista is hitting so very quickly. Now he's going to put that into work onto Baby Knight. He tries to jump forward. The Sonic Wave obliterates the Sniper. Buying back now. He needs to get into this fight. In the backlines, the Axe dies to the Witch Doctor ultimate being channeled. Useless score. Trying to look for an assassinate kill, but can't actually find it. Buyback from the Axe as well. He's going to jump in, looking for a call, but can't even find it. The melee barracks are dropping low, and even if they win this fight, doesn't even matter. There's going to be a blink and lasso initiation onto the backlines as the Queen of Pain ends up falling. She was a little deep there, but the rest of the Phantom Lancer illusions end up taking down the barracks just the same. Quista still has Aegis, and he's itching to fight now. Useless score, going to pick a man fight with the Phantom Lancer, and will win it the first time around. They'll draw Firefly all around on the ground, trying to lock down Quista. He's going to be netted down to the ground by a handful of chains. Now the Earth Spike bounced back up and shot down by the Sniper, but even so, it's mega creeps for Scary Faces. Even if they lose their Phantom Lancer, they have to lose him again, and in the near future, if they have any chance of losing this game, Flipside, this is desperation time.
Yeah, this is time where you group up and try to make some sort of Doom push, but there's tier 2s in the way, and with mega creeps flooding into your base, a Doom push probably isn't going to get very far. Granted, they are very well prepared to deal with megas. It's not really an intentional itemization by their part, but they have Mjolnir, which is great at dealing with megas. They have an Ember Spirit who has a Battle Fury, also a really nice hero to deal with these large hordes of creeps. But Baby Knight is getting messed up by these mega creeps. Like, even though in paper he's really good at clearing out the wave, he can't really afford to man fight him that well. So Flipside, they will be able to not, they will hold for a little while. They're not going to outright lose to megas, but they're going to lose pretty shortly to the megas, I'm pretty sure. Ram's going to get the roar onto Ace. He has a Refresh Orb, going to get another roar, try to go for it onto that Ember Spirit. Is going to fall short there as Ace is going to get up to the high ground with the Shadow Blade. He's free and clear, blinks away from the Beastmaster. Looks like Necro units were popped there a little bit too late, perhaps, by the BM, but megas are going to soon be flooding the base from Flipside, and, well, they're going to start things out by running into useless score. Player's going to get into a man fight with the Sniper, not really what you want to do. Rise going to close right in, 3-man spike. Going to kill out the Queen of Pain, set up for a kill on Eknar and Shadowy as well with Finger Death. Witch Doctor, amplification from the Ghost Scepter, not going to help him there. Shadowy does get himself out of here, but here comes Quista. He's going to put Rise in a blender. Ramses is also going to take out the Sniper in the meantime. Rise still alive, he does somehow blink away, but Bland's going to get hit with the secondary roar. Quista's illusions swarming this Axe, maybe for more spins, but Axe is simply not tanky enough to withstand all of this, and sooner or later he's going to drop Force Staff out from Ace, and looks like Ace will maybe save the life of Bland, but no, he's going to die in the end. They also take down the Zeus and Beast. The Zeus in the meantime is off in the backside. Quista is going to rejoin the Ember Spirit, and he will put him in the ground as well. He's actually going to chase after Baby Knight, who jumps right back to his illusion. Not really sure if that's the move you want to make. He's going to clear out a lot of the illusions, but Quista, the main Phantom Lancer, is still here, and the Ember Spirit will drop. Here comes Ace. He has a Shadow Blade, though, so he's not going to outright die. Rise, though, is in a little bit more trouble. Purged up. He's going to buy himself a couple of precious seconds with the Ghost Scepter. Spike onto Quista, but his illusions are still there, plus the Megas. This is all over for Flipside. It's a triple kill for Quista to end the game, and he's going to put the rest of his illusions onto work onto the Ancient or Rise and Ace, who have bought back, trying to get some sort of revenge kill. Pull him into the fountain. Maybe you get the kill on the Phantom Lancer then, but even then, Quista has evasion. He has a whole bunch of copies of himself, and it's going to be a 2-0 in favor of Scary Faces. They knock Flipside out of the Yard G2A Festival.
That game in particular looking really nasty for Flipside from the gate. Their lanes just didn't get any momentum under their belt, and unfortunately the Axe wasn't able to do so much with the amount of space they got, and granted, that wasn't very much space at all. The Jungle Axe really not paying off for Flipside, and Scary Faces, they got farm on all three of their lanes, and then even some here and there from the jungle, and they got kills and took better trades. There really wasn't much going for Flipside that entire game, I want to say.
Well, that's sometimes just the way it goes. The draft, perhaps, where Flipside could have made some significant improvements, but 10-1, 10 score on Ace. He did a pretty good job on the Batrider, I suppose, yet Scary Faces are the ones to claim victory for the Yard G2A Festival. This is only a round 1 game, I believe. Yes, it is. So Flipside are out, and Scary Faces now have a date in the future with either Power Rangers or for ASC. That game has not been played yet, guys, but that one should be played tomorrow, actually. So we'll see who Scary Faces are going to be playing up against. But for right now, guys, we are done here on the Yardfest Hitbox channel. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by GrandisV. It's been a pleasure casting for you guys. If you did enjoy the games, be sure to hit that follow button so you could get notified next time we go live, or just follow us on Twitter. I'm Mikelorus. You can find me on Twitter at Mikelorus. You can find my co-caster on Twitter at GrandisV, and we'll see you guys next time.